Hey everyone! Picture this: a Mexican paradise, friends, adventure. But what if ancient ruins in the jungle turn into a nightmare with no way out? The movie kicks off with a lone girl sitting on the ground, desperately trying to call for help, but there's no signal. Then, something drags her into the darkness. Meanwhile, a group of friends is chilling by the pool. Amy notices her earring is missing. A guy named Mathias finds it. The friends decide to treat him to drinks for his help. Over conversation, Mathias reveals he came to this country to find his missing brother, who was obsessed with ancient ruins and was supposed to explore some temple. The problem? It's an off-the-grid spot, so Mathias has no clue where to start looking. Later that night, Amy gets so drunk she almost flirts with Mathias, but Stacy steps in to stop her. A new day dawns. Dimitri sketches out Mathias's brother's map. The friends decide to help him with the search. After a while, they get off a bus and try to contact a local guide, but their phones have no signal. Then they have a brilliant idea: hire a taxi driver instead of a guide to take them to the spot. To their surprise, the driver flat out refuses to go there, but a hefty sum of cash changes his mind. The driver drops them off near the location and speeds away. They spot the cars of Mathias's brother, and judging by their condition, they've been there for a while. In the jungle, they notice some locals. The group tries to talk to them, but the kids just run off. It turns out the path they need to take is hidden behind vines. Amy finds it suspicious that someone covered the trail, but Jeff thinks archaeologists might be hiding their discovery. Soon, they reach an open area where a temple stands, covered in vegetation. Mathias spots his brother's tent at the top of the temple. Suddenly, a local rides up on horseback. The horse refuses to approach the temple, forcing the man to dismount. Jeff offers money, but the man isn't interested. Then Mathias shows a photo, and while the locals are looking at it, Amy steps on the plant roots, which seriously angers the man. Amy only takes a couple of steps back, stepping on more plants. Dimitri assumes the locals are upset about the photo and goes to grab Amy's camera, stepping on the plants too. When he approaches the locals, they take him out. Terrified, the group bolts toward the temple as more armed locals emerge from the jungle. Oddly, none of them come near the temple. At the top, there's no one else, just abandoned belongings. There's no cell signal, so calling for help is out of the question. The friends notice an entrance in the middle of the temple. While calling out for Mathias's brother, he stumbles upon legs belonging to his brother. Meanwhile, Jeff sees women approaching the temple with baskets, as if they plan to stay for a while. Mathias touches a plant, and within minutes he feels a strange burning sensation. He asks for water to rinse his hands, thinking it'll help. The group tries to figure out what to do next. Jeff is certain help will come. The hotel they're staying at will surely notice their absence and call the police. But then, a phone rings from deep within the temple. Mathias grabs a rope and starts descending. Unfortunately, the rope snaps and he falls. From the sounds, he's clearly not okay. Stacy climbs down to help, her rope holding strong. They notice the deeper they go, the more plants there are. The rope runs out before Stacy reaches the bottom, but she decides she's low enough and jumps, slightly injuring her leg. Mathias is in much worse shape. He can't feel his limbs. Amy descends and begs the locals for help, but they only point their weapons at her. Jeff tries to pull Amy away, causing her to stumble and touch the plants. Seeing this, the locals get aggressive. Amy rips out a plant and throws it at them, hitting a boy, who is immediately taken out. Evening approaches. The friends realize the locals fear the plants and won't let them leave, assuming they've been contaminated by touching them. Stacy, at the bottom of the temple, wants to find the phone. The sound comes from thick vines, but she's reluctant to go there. Once makeshift stretchers are ready, Amy climbs down to help Stacy get Mathias onto them. It's excruciating for him, but they manage to hoist him up. Jeff checks Dimitri's pockets, finding a plane ticket, and figures someone will look for him since he missed his flight. Eric uses a hand-cranked generator to power a lamp, while Jeff gives Mathias a blanket since it gets cold at night. Meanwhile, Amy tends to Stacy's leg, who blames herself for Mathias's condition. A new day begins. Jeff waters the plants and spots another body that's been there for a long time. Stacy's leg is covered in vines. Eric tries to remove them and realizes the plant is growing inside her leg. Panicking, Stacy says she feels movement under her skin. Eric guesses she's infected from touching the plants. The same thing happens to Mathias. While part of the group tries to help him, Amy and Stacy search for the phone. They crawl through a tunnel, finding a broken phone at the end, meaning it couldn't have been ringing. Then another ring echoes. Amy turns and sees a plant making the sound. The plants come alive, trying to grab the girls, snatching the torch and wrapping around Stacy's legs. But Amy saves her, and they both climb back up. The tunnel narrows quickly, but the plants don't catch them. Back at the top, they try to figure out what to do. Eric still hopes to sneak away and get help, but Jeff knows it's impossible. The best plan is to stay put and wait for rescue. They'll surely be found. As for supplies, they're almost out of food and water. Mathias's health is deteriorating, so Jeff suggests amputating his legs to give him a chance to survive. Mathias agrees. After the procedure, the plants slowly take the legs. Late at night, Jeff wanders around while the girls argue and fail to notice Mathias becoming the plant's next meal. Stacy screams that the plant is inside her and wants to prove it. Eric stops her as the flowers mimic her words. A new day arrives. The pair sees locals sprinkling salt, and Stacy's suspicion is confirmed. The plants are under her skin. Jeff pulls out all the visible pieces. But Stacy keeps saying she feels something, and then they notice a plant on her head. Eric isn't waiting for help and decides to take a risk. Later, the plant's sounds worsen Stacy's breakdown, and she grabs a knife. Eric tries to calm her, but gets fatally wounded. The plant is pleased and claims its prize. Jeff takes out Stacy and hands Amy the key. He comes up with a plan. Jeff carries her down, pretending she's dead, and lures the locals away where they take him out. But Amy manages to slip away. The locals notice her escape and start a chase. Amy miraculously dodges all their arrows. She reaches the abandoned cars and starts one with the key. But in the end, we see it was all for nothing. The plant is already inside her. The film wraps up with a scene of Dimitri's friends approaching the temple, hinting at a continuation. So The Ruins isn't just a horror flick about tourists in the jungle. It's a gripping mix of tension, terror, and survival. Sure, it has flaws. The characters sometimes make dumb choices, and the ending raises more questions than answers. But that dark atmosphere and the creepy jungle mystery make it so gripping. I loved it for its boldness and raw take on fear. What about you? Did The Ruins hook you? Or did the ending throw you off? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think.